Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, God Pritchard, here for Banter. I'm obviously joined by my wonderful co-host, Brennan and Korey. How are we doing, gentlemen?
What's up? Doing great today.
I'm doing good. Brennan must be doing very similar to how he was doing last week. He was wearing the exact same thing.
Not almost. This is a former player. This is Stephon Diggs.
Oh, my mistake.
This could be former player.
My mistake. That jersey looks nice.
And thank you. Thank you.
Sorry.
This is
all right.
I like the Josh Allen.
Let's go to the rules just real quick here.
No, Kyle, there's some headlines that we're not going to talk about right now.
That's true.
Talk about.
Okay, yeah. So
JJ Redick.
They get hired by the Lakers
our fellow podcast host,
yes,
JJ Redick.
Yes.
He runs the same level of podcast that we run here.
Absolutely.
nothing but the best between these two. You guys had his co-host LeBron James on.
We did have LeBron James.
So there was a little bit of a collab there when I was gone. You know, LeBron did great filling in for me.
We love LeBron James here.
Yep.
Yeah, and then also big trade between the Chicago Bulls and the Oklahoma City
Josh
Thunder.
Giddey goes to the Bulls, Crusoe to the Thunder, who actually started his career on the Thunder, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Very strange.
Kyle knows ball.
I do, more than you. All right, let's start. So, our contestants have 25 minutes to hopefully get the 10 agreements here on sports-related questions here. If they agree on a question, they get a minute to talk about it. If they don't agree, they get 35 seconds each, and then a minute 30 to hopefully come to reconciliation. So let's just jump right into it. Let's go for the National Basketball Association. Just the first question on the board here. What was the most impressive thing about the C's this year?
Okay.
Timer has started.
Boom.
He's taking his time.
All right. I understand what he's saying.
I mean,
it's he's just there because of what mine is.
Yeah,
that's true.
Okay, so you guys want a minute, 35 each, or
35 each.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Go first.
So I said the impressiveness of their game on both sides of the ball. In today's NBA, we're seeing a lot of one-dimensional teams. They're either high-scoring, best offense in the league, can't play defense, great defense, struggle on offense. The Celtics did both this year, which is impressive. Like I said, especially in the modern NBA, the Celtics, they were the fourth team in 28 years with a top 3 offense and defensive efficiency. They joined the 14, 15, 16, 17 Warriors, and then last year Celtics team also did the same thing, but they got over the hump this year. They're 122 points and 100 possessions, highest mark in NBA playoff history, had the lowest turnover rate in terms of defense. Dallas, they were held to their worst stretch of offense all season, minus these last couple of games in the regular season they had with Luka and Kyrie. And Corey's going to tell you
why. We're more than 35 there, but let's keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. But the most important reason why... No, we disagree. The most important reason why is because of our roster building here. The most important part of this season for the Boston Celtics, and the highlight of it, was the very start of the year, whenever they acquired Drew Holiday and they got Kristaps Porzingis. And the way that you build a team and you still lose Malcolm Brogdon, 6th Man of the Year, Marcus Smart, former Defensive Player of the Year, and right off the bat, even though you lose those people, everybody's thinking, wow, the Boston Celtics had an incredible offseason. That's something that's going to immediately change the game, and that depth that they got from that two-way play that they got from that is what made them such an amazing team this year.
Minute 30.
Yeah, so no, I think we agree. I mean, the reason, of course, why they were that effective on both sides of the ball was
because they built the team.
Because they built the team.
Yeah,
you know,
and
getting a guy like Drew Holiday out there defensively,
absolutely.
Already building on the offense. Like I said, last year they had a great one. Continued to build on that, built that defense. Joe Mazzulla, great head coach, great mind.
Yeah, he's doing great. Doing a great job. West Virginia legend right there.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, I totally agree. But yeah, what I will say is that the front office did a great job here.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I think sets the Boston Celtics apart from other champions.
Sure.
Is that they really nailed the, actually constructing the team. If I was, playing NBA 2K, this is the type of team that I would build, that I would be trying to, that I would be trying to create.
That's fair, though, yeah.
That's the type of team that you would be trying to create, a very two-dimensional, a very amazing team on both ends of the ball with a lot of different former stars.
And the Celtics, a lot of former stars, they don't have a lot of superstars on the team. Like you see, a team like the Clippers. I mean, that can only get you so far. Sure. You need a team.
Almost every team, every other team in the NBA has question marks. I don't really think the Celtics have any, other than the injury history.
Yeah, I mean, they won the championship,
and even then they were fine with Horford.
Completely fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Well done to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As much as I hate them, congratulations.
Yeah.
Pacers will be back.
I said there's not a city less deserving for a great team and a fun team to watch like that than the Celtics. Yeah. I do agree. All right. And let's just kind of slide into the other Celtic question I had here. So this Celtics team, arguably one of the best teams we've seen in recent history. What team do you think is the best team since? I think maybe didn't frame that very well, but like. You guys got it. Yeah, okay. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me check my notes.
That's surprising.
I don't like that.
I don't like that answer.
I don't like that at all.
All right, let's let Korey go first.
Okay, so I know I was just raving about the Boston Celtics. They did things that they've never done before, but I say that they are not better than this Denver Nuggets squad from last year, at least not in terms of being better champions, which is how I'm weighing this year. Denver played one more playoff game than Boston this season in a much tougher conference with much more difficult competition, and they had a better superstar. They had better X factors with Jamal Murray. They had better moments that made them more exciting to watch. I don't think I would like... Of all the teams that did well in the playoffs this year, honestly, Boston, I was like kind of least excited to watch their games all throughout. And to me, that makes them less good of a champion than Denver. I have them higher on my list of being a great champion.
And there's a arguably strange answer here, but let's go with
I said the 2019 Toronto Raptors. In terms of champions, I think the Celtics, this year's Celtics team was better than them. There are a couple championship teams I think could be better than the Celtics. The 15 Warriors, the 16 Cavs. Basically, the 18-17 Warriors as well, I think we're all better than the Celtics this year. So that puts them around like the fifth in the last 10 years or so. Honestly, with these Raptors, I mean, Kawhi was just on another level, the 2019 playoffs. I mean, that was, if you want to talk about a time that got me personally into the NBA, that was it. Kawhi averaging 28.5, 9.8, 4.2 in 41 minutes. I think Boston was 30.
What I will say about the Raptors is that, like, I talk about a great champion. I can't really think of a better, like, champion mindset than, like, finally reaching the hump as being Marc Gasol, as being Kyle Leonard. I feel like, I think that's awesome, and then Kawhi Leonard is a great thing there. But what I will say is, like, you think that this team is better than all of the other champions that came after Kawhi, but Toronto is better than this Boston Celtics team.
No, that's what I meant.
So you think
this is the best team
since the Warriors? Since the Warriors is what you're saying.
So this is what I'm saying.
Okay, so are you measuring that in terms of just like skill, talent? Like how are you measuring that? Because again, I kind of took this question as being like a great champion, and I really think that Denver embodies everything that you want from an NBA champion.
Sure, no, and I agree with you that Denver probably was the better team than the 2019 Raptors. Like on paper, sure, I think,
But I'm measuring against these Celtics.
I took that into account a little bit. I also took into account a little bit of the storyline because the Raptors, they're the underdogs. The Nuggets, they were kind of just like the favorites, which I mean, I get the Celtics, but I think this Celtics team that we saw this year was just on a different level. I mean, you look at the Nuggets,
again, roster building, they played in terms of talent, they had things that
they played a close series against you look at the Celtics team, none of those series were close.
No.
Yeah, and I think again, I think that's because of the competition that you had there. But what I will agree with is that if you put this on NBA 2K in terms of like overalls and just like matching teams up, Celtics are winning against the Nuggets like probably 6 to 7 times out of 10. I appreciate Denver as a champion more, but I think just in terms of just pure talent, pure skill, pure production, it's got to be the team that's the best offensive rating for the regular season, second best defensive rating.
Sure. Would you guys argue that this is the best team of this decade so far?
Of this decade? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, a small list, but I think that's
they're better than the Lakers.
I was going to say, I like the 2020 Lakers, personally.
I don't know. That was a weird
They had cool names, but I don't know if they beat them, no.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like them.
Let's get to it.
But I do think they're probably the best of the
Let's go to hockey.
Other than Denver, obviously.
Let's go to hockey. Fun little question I have here for hockey. So the Ducks are getting redesigns. I think the Kings just came out with the redesigns for the New Jersey and logo. Which team do you think, aside from Utah, obviously, should be the next in line?
I wish I could draw.
Oh my god, no way!
Did you say yes? Yes, dude.
No!
It's the Calgary Flames.
Okay, a minute. I disagree fully with both
Calgary
of you.
is way overdue for a rebrand, dude. They haven't changed their logo other than maybe whenever they rocked with that horse for a second. Literally ever. They always have that flaming C. We need something different.
That's what I said in my notes. The C is cool, but the more and more I look at it, the more and more it looks like an auto body, like car repair company logo. Like
that's so
accurate.
It totally looks like an advanced auto parts thing.
And I know this is a hot take, especially with Canadian hockey fans. I mean, they don't like the change. I mean, the Calgary Flames are an iconic franchise up there, especially in Calgary, in that area. But I think at least change the jerseys and change the logo a little bit.
Yeah,
you gotta get.
I think there should be a different logo, and I think you can have still the General Flames logo going around, like different branding of certain things. But their identity as a team needs to be a little bit spiced up.
That's what I'm
definitely.
saying. Yeah,
and I don't know, blend just like red
C,
and then a C. It just needs to change.
I even looking at their jerseys, they were not.
Their jerseys are just so bland.
Yeah.
Wow. If this becomes a TikTok, all of hockey world's gonna
rain
fire.
That's why I said this.
I know,
but massive.
I honestly, I think they have some of the best jerseys in the league.
Calgary.
The logo, I think I could maybe.
I don't like Calgary's jerseys.
I think they're awesome because they've changed because they had a bunch of black. Okay, let's continue here. Let's do the top question on the baseball side of the things here. Okay. So the Mets did lose, but they were on fire. I think they had a 6 or 7 game win streak ever since Grimace throughout the first pitch at their game.
Grimace Era.
Yeah, jokes aside, why exactly has this mediocre team more or less kind of been playing with a fire in them this last week or so?
Sorry.
I mean, I guess you guys are kind of have the same answer.
Okay. Well, what do we got? They face bad pitching. Yeah, we're kind of the same.
Okay, minute.
Yeah. Okay, so the way I said it, Brennan, is that mediocre teams can beat mediocre competition.
Exactly.
And, I mean, unfortunately, that's where the reigning champion Texas Rangers are right now.
Yeah.
They are a mediocre
franchise.
If you're playing teams that are under 500,
hangover.
you're winning 2 games against the Rangers. They won 2 games of their series against the just straight up bad Marlins. Yeah. And then they did end up beating the Padres. But, I mean, those are all mediocre teams. I
have the pitchers they played. They killed Jordan Montgomery, who hasn't been the best this year. I know in the past he's been pretty good, especially last year. DJ Hurts and Patrick Corbin on the Nationals. Those 2 guys are bums, especially Patrick Corbin now. No, I'm calling that out. Patrick Corbin, I saw stats about him a couple days ago. It's absolutely insane. They struggled against Taijuan Walker, who's granted, he's in the Cy Young race, and they did come back against the Phillies bullpen. Got beat by Jesus Luzardo, who is a decent pitcher. They killed Braxton Garrett and Tanner Scott. And Tanner Scott's usually a closer who's getting starts for the Marlins. Beat Matt Waldron and a couple of weakers Padre pitchers. So
yeah, easy.
So it's just schedule. They kind of have easy schedule, and they're probably a team.
Yeah, and they just
ended up spending that much money, they're going to win.
But do not tell them
they just ended up on the winning side.
Do not tell Mets fans that though.
Yeah,
because they will say.
All right, let's do the rare NFL question in June here. So we've kind of had ins and outs of the 49ers maybe trading Aiyuk, maybe to someplace. Where do you think, if he does get traded, would be an ideal place for the receiver? Arizona State receiver. We got 2 guys. Okay. I like this answer. Let's let Brennan go first here.
I said the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is probably the one team he's been rumored to the most this season. I mean, I think he was having conversations with Mike Tomlin this past offseason. And he just feels like a Mike Tomlin guy, like a guy who would fit in. Yeah, he does. He would fit in with the Steelers culture. He would add a vertical dynamic threat to the new look Steelers offense. Get some help in there for Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, whoever is throwing the ball in Pittsburgh. They would also create the offense, make it more two-dimensional. Of course, last year it was very, very, very one-dimensional.
Very run-heavy.
Probably one of the worst.
Which I didn't hate.
One of the worst offenses in the league. But they need a deep ball threat in there. Add him up with George Pickens. That could be a sneaky wide receiver.
All right, let's go for Korey.
One thing that I want to emphasize on what Brennan said was he said, depending on what quarterback they go with or whatever they end up doing at the quarterback position. I don't like that level of inconsistency if I'm Brandon Aiyuk, because you're saying Brandon Aiyuk, what's he going to pick? So that's why I went with the LA Chargers, where he's going to have Justin Herbert, who is right now, he's a very consistent option. And honestly, Aiyuk, from watching his fantasy stats the last few years, he's not necessarily the most consistent option here. And you're going to have to be if you lose Keenan Allen, lose Mike Williams, and you put him there with a quarterback who you're going to have to use. Yep. So if I'm him, I want to go into a situation where I know I'm going to have that consistent
starting receiver is Ladd McConkey.
See, I don't know, because Brandon Aiyuk, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, he's not a wide receiver 1.
I don't think so either, but I think he could maybe mold himself into one potentially.
I don't think so.
I don't know if the Chargers make the decision to bring him in as their only guy.
No.
I don't know. But I will say I think he would. I think it's a good fit for him to try to get
I think it's a better fit in Pittsburgh because George Pickens over here, you could run that. They're going to force the defenses to double coverage one, going to leave the other one open one-on-one. Could work a really great dynamic over
I don't know if him and Pickens are lethal enough wide receiver core to
But you have Pat Freiermuth, you have Najee Harris, you have Van Jefferson.
I think you'll find things that are going to make the Steelers successful this season.
Ultimately,
but I think all of those are unproven enough that it may actually fall apart. And even if it doesn't fall apart, I think that's something that maybe a little later in Aiyuk's career that he looks to. I think now is the chance where he's like, all right, if I could pick, I want to see what I can do, and I think you try to do that with the Chargers.
See, but I don't think he has that yet because he's still on his rookie deal, from what I believe.
Yeah, so I think you try that now, and then you go to a team like the Steelers when they're a little more proven,
I don't know,
or to a different team that is proven.
The Chargers aren't proven either.
No, I agree, but if you go to the Chargers, you're getting yourself a situation where you know what is proven is that you're the only good wide receiver there.
That's true, but then that's going to be more.
So I think that's where you test the field. I think this is the year where Brennan and Aiyuk should test the wide.
I don't think the Chargers are a good fit for
Still, I think 4 points.
Yeah, we have 4 still.
All right, let's keep going here. Let's go back to the National Basketball Association. We just talked about J.J. Redick always going to the Lakers, but the Pistons just fired Monty Williams after giving him a 5-year contract after 1 year, which is very cool. Who should they target next as their head coach?
Oh, hey, I like that answer.
All right, let's let Korey go first.
Okay, so I said Mike and Nori, which is funny because Brennan said Sam Cassell, another Minnesota Timberwolves guy. But Mike and Nori, I said he's the current assistant coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. We saw him fill in for Chris Finch in the playoffs here. What I like about Nori is that he's already worked with the Detroit Pistons organization before, and he currently with the Timberwolves, he just proved that he's able to quickly gain the trust of some of the best players in the world and of some young guys like Anthony Edwards. And so that's something that you're going to need on a Detroit Pistons team, and whenever you already have connections with that guy, if I'm in the organization, that's the kind of guy that I want to bring along for this rebuild, because clearly bringing in a guy who's proven like Monty Williams just did not make the cut to turn this team around last year.
All right, let's let Brennan go.
So I am a huge fan of hiring guys like assistant coaches who are coming off championship wins. I think it just builds character, especially I know this is a basketball question, but the National Football League. And in the NBA, too, I think it can work with Sam Cassell. The Celtics won the championship this year. Sam Cassell was a huge part of why they did it. A great assistant coach on that team. Helped shape the identity of that team to get them over the hump. And not only is he a great assistant coach, he's also a proven winner. I mean, I think this was his, overall in his playing career and his coaching career, was his 3rd NBA championship. So I think bringing that winning culture to Detroit is exactly what they need.
Yeah, no, I definitely like winning culture, but I also like the idea of you're bringing people, you're coming up as a coach with the players, and I think Sam Cassell, like having a little bit of a previous NBA background, I don't think he's necessarily going to be the guy who's like learning with the players and respecting the players for things that they can that they can do that he could never do. Like I think Mike and Nori, I think it kind of gels a little bit more if you have somebody who's a little bit more of a third party. I do like the Cassell pick. I mean, especially if I'm going to bring in like
a proven winner. Yeah,
a proven winner. I think I'm going to bring in a proven winner, and I'm going to bring in a guy like if I'm going to bring in a former NBA player, I think he's one of the guys I like a lot in Detroit.
My thought process behind that, and Mike and Nori, he's a great guy for the players, great for development of that. But in terms of what Detroit needs right now, I think they need a proven winner more than they need a guy.
So why did Monty Williams not work?
Because Monty Williams is just not that great of a coach.
Monty Williams is a pretty solid coach. He has a really good really good track record on those sorts of things. I think my issue is you're bringing in Monty Williams like, oh, this is a great coach who's going to fix things. You're going to bring in Sam Cassell, who's a great winner, who's going to change the attitude of these young guys. Mm-hmm. I think you're putting too much of a box on these players. I think you just bring an all-around decent coach who's going to grow with the team. I don't think you want to be like, I don't think with Detroit, since they've had so much like try and fail in recent years, I don't think you want to bring in a guy who you're like, he's here for this reason. I think you want to bring in somebody who might be able to gel in different ways.
All right, gentlemen, we have to come to an idea.
I think I can get behind that.
All right, Mike and Korey.
Mike and Korey gets the nod.
I also like the Chris Quinn option from the Miami Heat, your assistant coach. Been there with Spoelstra.
I don't actually keep anyone we really can, honestly. Let's go to hockey again. Hockey.
How many
Korey.
points are we at? 5?
Yes, I think so. Korey, do you want the top hockey question or the mid or the bottom or the?
We already
bottom
got the top.
The middle one or the bottom?
Middle one or the bottom one?
I don't care.
Brennan, the middle one or the bottom one?
Let's go middle one, I guess.
All right. So the Panthers again, they failed to clinch the Stanley Cup final after going up 3-0 in Game 5. That's fine. Losing 5-3. Can the Oilers do the impossible? As Korey's trying to find his eraser. If so, why exactly will the Oilers achieve this?
Okay, I mean, that's what I think is going to happen, Korey, but I gave an answer.
Okay.
So
a minute.
So, I mean, we can actually, I want to say that 35 seconds because I want to say something. Okay. So, I personally said no, they're not going to be able to do it. And the reason why I think that they are not able to do it is because the only way that they do end up winning is if the Florida Panthers are the ones that end up messing up, in my mind. Like, I don't think there's anything Edmonton can do as a team to win and get better at this stage of the season. Because right now, it's just so clear to me that Florida is a more talented team. Their identity as being a physical team is just so much more clear and just more secure from like the different playoff experiences that they've had in the past few years than Edmonton has with under a guy like McDavid. I think that there's nothing that Edmonton themselves can do to win this series.
All right, Brennan.
All right. To be clear, I 100% agree with Korey. I think the Florida Panthers are 100% going to win this series. But I said if Edmonton does come back, it will be because they have Connor McDavid. Mm-hmm. Connor McDavid is just by far the best player in the NHL. And, I mean, Korey mentioned beating the Florida Panthers, beating themselves. We've seen in the last couple of games, Bobrovsky.
That 8-1 game, that's pretty rough.
Did not play that great. So if McDavid can lead the charge and capitalize, that is how Edmonton is going to win this series. But like Korey said, I just don't see it.
I just don't see it happen.
Do you think they do it tomorrow or Friday?
I think they do.
I think they win Game 6. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. Here's hoping. I honestly,
we got 6 points.
If there is a team that can choke it that bad, I think it is.
It could.
But,
or the Rangers. It would be the Rangers as well.
The Bruins could also.
The Bruins could choke.
Let's go. Let's go to baseball. This is also kind of a freebie. This is also kind of a fun little thought experiment. So Rickwood Field will play host to the Giants and the Cardinals on Thursday, which is today, I think. To honor the Negro League's record officially joining into the Major League records kind of recently. Out of all of the crazy neutral site baseball fields that I'm going to show before I edit the question, which has been the best, and it's for saying Field of Dreams.
It's the Field of Dreams!
Yeah,
yes.
No, literally.
Yeah, no,
in recent memory, it is the best marketing idea, best promotion thing that MLB,
in all sports, honestly.
In all sports, especially what MLB has done. The whole set, the whole show, the performance of everything that went on there was
when they walked out of the cornfields.
When the players walking out of the cornfields, not only was the show good, the game was even better. I think. Yeah. I forget. It was the Yankees and the White Sox. It was. I forget who walked it off. It was either Judge or Anderson.
It was the White Sox.
The White Sox. So I think it was Robert who walked it off. But there are so many home runs, so many runs batted in. It was terrific. A terrific game.
No, 100%. I mean, they've played at the Field of Dreams a couple of times in terms of neutral site games recently.
But that first one.
But that first one was just so awesome to see, and the fact that they made it such a big deal and they really executed it perfectly. It was just awesome to see.
All right.
Yeah. I am excited for this neutral site at the Negro League Stadium. It's a nice stadium.
Yeah, it is. How many points is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's go.
Finish out the NFL.
We'll finish out the NFL? Sure. Which Sunday Night Football game on the schedule for this year, 2024, do you have marked on your calendar? Kind of as a general question.
It's actually nuts how much I talk about the Bears.
Okay.
Okay.
Bears, Niners.
Hey, I like that game,
sorry,
but
Bears,
not anymore because your team's ass.
All right, 35 seconds goes to Brennan.
All right. When looking at the Sunday Night Football schedule, there weren't a lot of great games that were actually happening on a Sunday. A lot of them were the Thursday night opener, the Thanksgiving game, the Saturday games. I went with the Bills versus Niners. I think on paper, this is probably the best game we're going to see. The 49ers, of course, the defending NFC champions. The Buffalo Bills, they got Josh Allen. They got a new look offense. Just adds the 4 to the answer there.
It annoyed me.
I think it's going to be a fun game. Can the 49ers march into freezing cold Buffalo in December, take down the Buffalo Bills?
That's a December game?
December 1st.
Oh, stir.
But it's still December.
Korey, go ahead.
No, I think if any game for the Bills is going to be a good one to watch this season, I think that is probably one of them. But what I will say is you're living a little bit under the idea that the Bills are still going to be good this season. I'm just not sold on that. What I am excited to see, no matter whether they're good or bad, are the Chicago Bears under Caleb Williams, and I'm always going to be excited to watch C.J. Stroud play in Houston Texans. So as a Week 2 game, I think that's a really good, exciting one to keep the momentum of the season going right off the back. If the Week 1 games aren't that exciting, Week 2, I think this is a great Sunday Night Football game that I'm definitely going to tune into and
There
watch.
you go. Okay, you guys have the rest of the time here.
And then there's one Sunday Night Football game that I think is just even better for the Houston Texans because personally, you know my stance on the Bears.
Two?
I'm not too. The Detroit Lions. They played the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
in
that's
Week
an
10.
awesome game.
I think that's better than the Bears game.
I do. I mean, I guess I do agree. It's just to me, in terms of what do I have marked on my calendar was the question. I don't know. Week 2 early. I think if there's any time for me to be excited about Caleb Williams, it's going to be very early in the season. And so Week 2, I still have all of the hype to see a really exciting quarterback battle between those. But I can totally settle on Detroit and Houston there because I think that's a powerhouse game, especially if everything.
3 years ago, no one would want to watch.
Now it's probably one of the best Sunday Night Football games we're gonna get.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be an awesome, just powerhouse-filled game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so agree on
collectively
Texans and Lions
meeting in the middle.
Texans get 2 home Sunday night games.
I believe they do.
Wow. Okay. All right. You guys have 17 seconds left. You just go on a speed round because I think you're gonna get the speed round.
Okay.
I agree. I think you're gonna get the speed round.
Depends on how far back it goes.
So that's 8 points for you guys.
We got 8.
Okay.
2.
Nice job. So the speed round for today, I'm actually just gonna get it on my phone, so I can just kind of hold it back like this.
Sure.
Is that I will give them 4 the big 4 sports teams, one of each, and it's a particular year and how when they won all their championships. And they have to tell me what year that was. So, for example, Broncos, Penguins, Cavs, Cubs. That's 2016. That's when they all won. So let's go for.
Ironically, the Cavs championship seems far more recent than the Broncos championship.
It does.
In my mind.
It definitely does. I totally agree.
I think that's the LeBron.
Probably because the Cavs are relevant.
They're relevant.
And it's also relevant. It's also the last playoff game that the Broncos ever played.
Well, yeah. I mean, you gotta also think LeBron James, Peyton Manning one's still around, so he feels a little.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, let's go. Oh crap! Don't look at that. All right, ready?
Nationwide.
Pick a number 2, 1 or 5.
3.
Hey!
All right. So the 4 teams for this year are the Maple Leafs, the Packers,
Okay.
the 76ers, and the Cardinals.
All right. So let me think
It's
about.
definitely in the 60s.
Well, it could be. Well, okay.
Because
So
the Maple Leafs haven't won anything since the 60s.
is it really the 60s?
I think it's Super Bowl. I think it's 67.
67?
Because that would be, I think, because if going back to your Super Bowl trivia, we called what day did the Green Bay Packers defeat the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah.
And it was in 1967.
Good call, Brennan.
I think it is 1967.
Yeah?
I'll agree with
so?
that. Yeah, is it 67?
It's 1967.
Hey, nice one, Brennan.
Wow.
I didn't know that it's been that long.
The Maple Leafs, that's the whole joke behind their team. They haven't won anything since the 60s, yeah.
I thought maybe they had one in the 70s, 80s.
No.
Because I know that's when the
close,
Sixers. That's when the Sixers were shining.
too.
So I was like, okay.
All right. Pick another number. Obviously not 3 though.
2.
2? Okay.
Let's see you disagree, Brennan.
No.
The Devils, the Rams, the Lakers, and the Yanks.
So this is a Greatest Show on Turf Rams team. It's in the late 90s.
Late 90s. Well, if it's late it couldn't be late 90s if it's Lakers. It would have to be in early 2000s.
So it could be. I think it might be 01.
It could be.
No, because I think the Patriots won 01.
So it could be 2000. It could be 2001, or it could be 2002. Those are the Lakers.
I think it's 90. Or not 2000. I think it's 2000.
I think 2000.
Because I think 2001 or 2002, that was the Diamondbacks won one of those World Series.
Okay.
Though the Devils, you said the Devils, right?
The Devils, I feel like the Devils were really a 90s team, like a late 90s.
They were like in early
2000s
too.
2000s. So I think 2000 could be right. I also like 2002 as an option.
Because I think 2002 is the Diamondback.
I think we go 2000. I think
2000? All right.
And we still have a couple more options.
All right.
The distant future? The year 2000?
The year 2000.
That's correct.
Yes!
2000.
All right.
Now, that was the only one that has a 2 at the beginning of it.
All the others are 90s.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You made those harder than I thought you were going to.
Yeah? Oh, I do. Right. We can look at the other ones later. But
Yeah.
All right.
Fun times.
Alrighty. Well, they have done it. They've gotten the 10 points as always. So they avoided whatever punishment that they may or may not get. I have been your host, Kyle. Obviously, Korey, Brennan. Follow us on
all your social media platforms,
and
TikTok,
LinkedIn.
YouTube, LinkedIn. Go follow us over there. We're posting some banger content on LinkedIn.
Absolutely awesome content on LinkedIn.
Yeah, banger content on all social media platforms, such as Brennan posting that JJ Brennan got today on Twitter.
Right.
I mean,
gotta stay updated.
Threads.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the big social media guy. If you couldn't tell over here.
Yeah, he is. Let us know what kind of content you guys want to see on the social media. I know you guys are loving the short videos from our content here. Is there anything else that we can do on the show that we can turn into content? We're obviously going to bring back the live streams. We did that a few weeks ago, and that was really successful. Hopefully we can get one of those in the drafts that are coming. But new exciting things. Let us know what you want to see.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Or hear, listen to.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.